Man, hello, man. I was gonna start my drinking at the end of the season, but I'm gonna get started already with this whole drama we're facing with Amari Cooper. Man, that is something was unexpected so far. Just what a punch in the gut. What are your thoughts there on that one, man?
Retirement. He couldn't stand the fact he had to sit behind the rookie. Nah, who knows, man? Like he just didn't have it in him. Hopefully, he figures it out. He waited this
Yeah.
long to find a team, and then that was it. I guess he must have felt the Vegas heat and was like, "Ooh, I don't want to practice like this."
Welcome, Raider Nation. This is Raider
Yeah.
Personnel, your host, Raider Mack and Raider Ken. We're going to address this issue with Amari, man. I guess it's not an issue. I mean, the guy was old, came in. We didn't expect him to do much anyway, right? Play the third string. And like you said, he was behind Tucker, behind Jacoby, behind
Thornton.
Thornton. So, he's not gonna like that. That's probably what was a bad taste in his mouth. And
Yeah.
who knows? The talk was that he was getting offered by other teams, and he chose to come here. But maybe those offers weren't as good anyway. And I mean, it was a 1 year deal for the Raiders, so
Yeah.
maybe
No
from the
loss.
get go it was something just to try out. But either way, to me, this looks bad for Spytech, man. This is a bad. The optics here is bad, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't like it. This is a good thing that Jacoby's out there still and being as stoic as he is, and still
Oh
doing what
yeah.
he's not going to
Professional.
sit. He's going to go out and play.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, you're gonna go ahead. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like when we had heard the Cooper signing, I was like, okay, he's gonna be the number three guy. I was like,
Right.
he's either gonna be behind Tucker or behind Thornton. And I was like, him and Thornton, he could teach him how to run routes. And whenever we need those first downs, that's what I thought Cooper was gonna be. So
Right.
for me, when I saw that he was, on the depth chart, I was like, okay, cool, that makes sense. That looks a solid receiving core. We had Jack
Yeah.
Besh sitting there waiting, so I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that's solid. But it just wasn't for him. So,
Hmm.
which is okay. Wish him the best luck. It's just means Jack Besh has to come up. That means more opportunities for him. I know we called up with it Justin Shorter, I think it was, a little
Oh,
tight
okay.
end hybrid receiver. So we
Yeah.
had called him up. Yeah, so he's gonna come up, but he was always gonna be he's gonna be the fifth guy. The very last guy. Maybe the goal line packages. Having three,
Yeah.
four
Yeah.
tight
Yeah.
end sets or three tight end sets. He's in there. He's also a receiver. So I can see a little
Yeah.
bit used to that. But yeah, I'm excited, baby. Football's here.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Football's here, but I
Yeah,
mean, like we said last week, right? It's not a Raiders season without a little bit of drama, man,
yeah,
and
of
just the
course.
Raiders having something going on. It's just how it goes.
Hmm.
And this is again an older player who just at the end of the day just may not have it. I wish the best for his retirement, but
Hmm.
not necessarily happy about what 4 days before the first game of the season
Yeah,
there. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Definitely. Yeah, it was definitely a shock to the system. Like I said,
yeah.
he had a place in the
Mhm.
offense, and now it's got to be somebody else. He's a great route runner. That was his bread and butter, was how slick his route running was. So he's
Right.
definitely we definitely could have used his teachings and all of that for our
Yeah.
receivers, especially
Exactly.
Thornton. So yeah, and
That's
Jacoby,
definitely
yeah,
yeah.
Jacoby really, he's like, I have to play because he has to
Yeah.
get paid. And if he doesn't play, if he sits out,
Yeah.
there's a higher chance of him getting injured. And once you're injured, that's it. And Spytek seems pretty
Mm.
set, like what they do. And yeah, it's definitely a bad look with the whole Cooper thing. Now I
Yeah.
don't know if that pressures him into paying Jacoby just to make him
Yeah.
happy,
Yeah.
or he waits it out a little because Jacoby already said he's open to the fact of his agent negotiating within the season. He's like, I'm just trying to have my family, paid
Yeah.
and taken care of.
Right.
So he's like, he already said that they can negotiate during the season. So they might happen. Either give him a raise or give him the contract. But also could see him seeing a couple weeks, see how our other receivers mesh and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then go from there. So, but
Right.
yeah, this is gonna be exciting, man. See how that defense and offense goes. Um, we're gonna put a whooping. put a whooping on the
Yeah,
Pacers.
how will the Raiders get that whooping, man? That's the thing. How can we get to 10 wins, bro? I mean, this is gonna be a tough schedule. I mean, when we talked about the schedule before, we only mentioned the road trips. Necessarily
Yeah,
what the condition was like for the Raiders, and
yeah,
compared to other seasons, I think it's favorable, right? Where they're not bouncing from East Coast to West Coast overnight. It seemed,
yeah,
and pretty much a lot of prime time games, right? I think they go to Mexico. No, no, they have. I know they have a few Monday night games, a couple at least,
right. Oh yeah,
right?
a
So
couple
and
at
then
least. Yeah,
yeah. So and then, but we do got the Commanders, we do got the
and
Cowboys.
Thursday
When you
night.
saw the Cowboys Eagles game the other day,
Yeah,
man,
Cowboys
that
look
was
good.
that was a tough fought out game. I mean,
Yeah.
besides the weather,
Oh yeah,
there was some battles there. So yeah, so it's gonna be a
definitely.
tough one. So how do we get to 10, bro?
Man, honestly, so definitely first game of the season is the Pats. I believe is a win for sure. It's going to be tough. They are going to come playing hard.
Yeah.
But news today, their starting corner Gonzalez is out. So
Mm-hmm.
their best, and he is not only their starting corner, he is their best defender. So when you have your best defender out, chances are of you winning just becomes tough. Now we're talking about Geno Smith, who wants to keep the ball deep. Deep passing, one of the more accurate deep passers.
Right.
He's going to have a field day on that one.
Yeah.
So that's going to be good to see. I
Right.
don't know. I don't know if Genty will have a big game. Like I said, Variable really brings the defense. He's going to have that defense, at least
A lot of men in
run
the box.
stopping
Yeah.
defense there. Yeah. So I don't know what to expect from Genty. I expect at least maybe 50 to 60 yards. I
Okay.
could be wrong. He could just do 100 yards, and just be like,
Hopefully.
welcome to the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I see our throwing offense winning us this time because if their
Mm.
best defender is already out of the game, and you got Thornton and
Yeah.
Tucker and
Yeah.
Jacoby, and Tucker's
Yep.
been very impressive. Tucker's going to be doing punt returns and kick returns, so he's going to be that's going to be more chances for Thornton to come in, so Tucker can get some breaks in.
Yeah.
And Jack Besh, he's going to have to come up and probably gonna have to. You're gonna hear his name once or twice today, just because of the Cooper retirement. And then after that, man, I see we beating the Chargers. The Pete
Yeah.
Carroll and Harbaugh Bowl. Those are always
Yeah.
good. There's like they're always ending up battling each other. They both went to the NFL
Somehow, right?
together,
Yeah.
left college together,
Yeah.
and then back. And they're in the same division, Seahawks
Same
and
division.
49ers.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So that was
That's
great.
crazy.
But I honestly believe we're going to beat the Chargers. Um, that's where it gets tricky. Commanders, I do think we're going to take that loss.
Right.
The only thing that will save us if Jaden Daniel has that sophomore slump. He's not as big, and our
Yeah.
D line is actually where I think they'll be with Kuntz and Crosby. That would be the big differences. But if it's the same Commanders from last season,
Yeah.
I don't think I think that'd be a loss. So we'll get our first loss there.
The
The
Commanders have
Bears,
improved their defensive line though. They do
they
have
have,
Von Miller now, and I mean a
yeah,
lot more veteran guys. These guys are a little older,
yeah, yeah.
but I
And
think
Von Miller's
they've
gonna be like
improved it.
situation. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, he's gonna be situational. So like yeah, those third and longs, that's what
Yeah.
really hurt us. So we got to make sure we don't get there. The Bears is
Mm-hmm.
the one that I'm back and forth on. It's like the first game, the Bears preseason looked horrible. That
Yeah.
last preseason game, he looked really, really good. So that's a tough one for me. Just so I could be fair, I'm gonna say that we lose to the Bears.
Yeah.
So 2-2, I see
Really?
us there. Yeah,
Okay.
just to be, just to give us a break. After that, I think we beat the Colts, we beat the
Yeah.
Titans,
Yeah.
so we'll be four
Yeah.
and two. Lose to the Chiefs, unfortunately. It's gonna be at
Yeah.
Kansas City. We're
Yeah.
not there yet.
Or
I hurts to
or we
say
keep
it, but
well. I know they lost the last game in Kansas City, so yeah.
yeah.
You're okay. Okay.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah.
So after that would be 4-3. I think we beat the Jags, so we'll be 5-3. I We beat the Broncos. And we beat the Cowboys. So we're at 7. I believe we beat the Browns. Chargers. I think we lose that game. So
Yeah. Okay.
after
The
that,
Chargers.
Broncos.
They're at San Diego, not San Diego, but L.A.
Yeah, LA. So
Okay.
we'll lose that one. I believe we'll lose that one.
Okay.
Broncos, I think we go for the sweep. We take them out for
Okay.
the season, so that's a
Okay.
win. Eagles. After yesterday's game, I might have some hope because we're
Oh,
deeper in, depending on how we look.
yeah,
If
yeah,
we're
yeah.
that type of offense, Ashton Genty
Right,
and we're
right.
talking about Geno Smith and Thornton getting that connection. That defense didn't look, as good as it did last season. Maybe they
Yeah,
get
there were some
better,
points put on. Yeah.
the later it goes on. But I could say the Cowboys lost that game because CeeDee Lamb dropped those three passes.
Quick
If I
question
think if
for
he
you
would have
though.
caught, what's
Quick,
up?
quick curveball. Did you watch Jacorian? Did you see any of Jacorian action out there? He looked, from what I saw, he didn't look all that 100%, but he was decent.
Yeah, all I know is I didn't hear his name, so
Okay.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
All right. I just kind of peeped out a little bit here and there, but
Yeah,
I didn't watch the full game. So, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. All I know is everybody was getting beat. So you
Yeah.
know, Dak
There were some
Prescott
points
looked
put up.
really
Yeah,
good.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Their offense is going to be there, but their defense was not, and so that's why I was like, they should
Hmm.
have done more. But I'll still say we lose to the Eagles, because their championship, consistency will come back, and then they'll be on a roll there. Texans, I think we might
Oh,
lose that one. So that'll be our
really?
first back-to-back loss. Yeah, I
Oh,
think
okay.
because the Texans are going to be fighting with the Jaguars for that playoff position. It's going to
Yeah.
be in their home,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think they'll squeeze one out, very close one. And I think we end the season beating the Giants and beating the Chiefs at home.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and
I
my thought is the
yeah.
Chiefs are first place in the AFC. So either they rest their guys, and so we could pick up an
Right.
easy win,
I see what you're saying.
or
Yeah,
best
yeah, yeah.
scenario, it's down to us for the number one seed. that
That's right.
would
No,
be
that's
not to
that'll be
not
the
to.
ideal
That's not what I'm
finish, right?
saying. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. But if that happens, that would be one of the
Yeah.
best games ever for the Raiders. So yeah,
Yeah, for the season
that
for
would put a
sure.
stamp in our season. That would put a stamp in our off season. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yep.
we were thinking wild card, but we're actually here. Last game of the season can actually be the number one. Either AFC West number one or the number one seed. Which Broncos. I mean, not Broncos. Buffalo Bills and Ravens are all there as well and stuff like that. So more realistically, AFC West champs. But you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Man,
So I think I.
I'm hoping for a 12
Mhm.
game win season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Splitting the division, that is, winning just one game of those three opponents,
Hmm.
and from there, of course, you're gonna lose to the Commanders. You're gonna lose to the Eagles, because I think the Eagles,
Yeah.
regardless, man, they can turn it on. They've been there, they've done that, they've
Yeah.
been there twice already,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
lost by an inch, right? So
Yeah.
the Texans, now that's interesting that you got me with that one with the Texans, bro.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Yeah.
the Texans are missing pieces here and there, and the Raiders are
Yeah.
on the up and up. Momentum is on their side, at least from the start of the season.
For sure. For
So
sure. Yeah, the thing that would beat us with the Texans is their O line.
okay,
Since I live out there, I understand. I kind of see like the videos of their offense. Their
yeah,
O line's playing a lot better. Their O line's actually like hanging with their D line, and their D line's
yeah,
really really good. So that would be if our O line is on pitch, on point and healthy.
yeah,
And if their O line is, it's just they look good on practice kind of deal. Like, it's the
yeah,
same bad O line as last season,
yeah,
with it, then I could see us taking that win. I just feel like they might, be in it more because they're fighting the Jags, for their spot. They're at home
exactly.
towards
They
the
got
end of the
something to play
season,
for.
so
Yeah.
exactly. So for me, we still end up at 11-6.
Okay.
Um, we should be in the wild card with that one at least. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like, and
Yeah.
I'm assuming the Chiefs get 13, 14 wins.
Right.
Um, and then everybody else, because they're division winners, they'll be ahead of us. But we'll probably have the number one wild card seed. That should put us in line for that. So
Yeah, no, what will make or
yeah,
break our season is definitely, man, those three games against the Bears, the Colts, and the Titans, right? Those are teams that you have
yeah,
to win against. That
oh yeah,
when coming into the Panthers, coming into the Browns last year, no, those were the
hmm,
games we were looking at that they
oh
had to
yeah,
win and gain momentum from, and they just didn't do it. So, and it's the same
yeah,
thing
for
this year,
sure.
bro.
No, you
weeks what? 4, 5, and 6, something like that.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
a
So
beautiful cake for us to just get that win streak,
get that
you
cushion.
know.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then that would moment us bring us to the next, I wish we had a later bye week, but hey, it is
Yeah.
what it
Yeah.
is.
It's early. Yeah.
We gather together, we get
Yeah.
healthy, and then we hit it hard. Yeah, and hopefully our D line, man. I want to see Kuntz. I want to see Crosby. They're the ones that are going to make things happen, make things go. They're gonna ones that are gonna help our secondary because
Yeah.
still feel like our secondary is the one that needs the most help.
Right.
So we get them going, and when we score touchdowns, no more field goals, touchdowns. That's what we
Right.
need, baby.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We
No.
got an accurate
And
quarterback. Yeah. We got a six
it's
five
it's
receiver,
funny.
and we have a monster of a running back.
It's funny you mentioned the safeties and all that, and from what I hear, Pete is out there with the safeties trying to coach him up, and he was asked about
Yeah.
Porter and that if there are any concerns, and he's like, no, no, he's doing good, he's doing that, and he's learning, he's made a lot of progress. I hope that comes to light, man, because I mean it
Yeah.
wasn't a rough preseason for him, but you could tell, right?
Right.
He's new,
Yeah.
he's
I
so
mean, with the expectations we had and heard from training camp, that's where we thought, where he'll really be
yeah,
really amazing.
exactly,
But like I said, man, in the end, he's still a rookie. He still has to see these receivers play. He still has to have that in game, real strategizing against each other.
yeah,
Because preseason, you're not seeing everything. So
right, right,
you got to let him come in. We got some veterans back there now. But I could see, like, if not next week, in the next few weeks, we'll see him back as a starting corner.
yeah,
So
okay.
I definitely would have him out there with like the Bears and Colts and that little 4, 5, 6 game period after the Commanders.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
mhm.
it's going to be interesting to watch, and it hopefully does progress, man. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying, because it's going to be a rough season if that, secondary doesn't do well, the corners and the safeties, that is. And I mean,
You're right.
Chin, you can
Right.
count on, I guess. And then
Right.
Isaiah as well. And then, like we talked about last week, right, is Jamal Adams that is doing that little,
The
linebacker safety
hybrid.
combo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then so hopefully that works out, man. These
Yeah.
sort of misfits, I guess you could say, on the team as far as linebackers go and safety. So,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and then
Yeah.
any player that stands out to you is going to break records like Brock did. I mean, nobody saw that one coming right last year, but
Yeah.
I think he's going to definitely have a chance to break a record. I mean, if he's getting the ball, I mean, with all these receivers, bro.
We're talking about the top three most accurate deep throwing quarterback in the NFL,
True.
and you're talking about Brock Bowers, who stretches that field like the best of them. So yeah,
Exactly.
I can see him breaking some records. He could be as simple as the most yards for in the first 2 years for a tight end, to even
Right.
like breaking the tight end record, for yards this season.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be Jacoby and him.
Right.
Thornton will have his moments, but it's going to be Genty, Bowers, Jacoby.
Right.
That's our three-headed monster, and everybody else is just icing on the cake. So we get that going, and they're all different. Tucker, you put him in the slot, you do what he does. Thornton 6'5", 430.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? And then Jack Best, just that muscle, this Anquan Bolden type. He's gonna
Yeah.
outmuscle you. So we have promise. And not even talk about Mike Myers over there.
Michael
Just
Mayers. Yeah.
sitting there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He could be. He needs to be Mike Myers on Sunday. He needs to cut those touchdowns.
Yeah, the silent assassin. Yeah,
So
no, for real. You're right. He's dangerous still. Yeah.
yeah, man, that man's a good receiver. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I have hope. We've been seeing it all off season. We've been feeling the vibes. We just have to put it on the field. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I've been happy with some of the preseason I've seen with our starters. I don't count, you're right. We talked about it. I don't count the second and third streamers, like what they did, making us winning or losing the game. I
Yeah.
like to see them out there and playing. They're going to be dead pieces. But what I saw from the starters, like the whole starting unit together, was great. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so I was happy with that. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
do
no,
you
I'm
think
super
scores the first
excited as well.
touchdown?
What's that?
Who do you think scores the first touchdown?
Oh shit, it's gotta be Genty, bro. It's gotta be Genty first scoring. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got to be Genty.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Yes,
With
sir.
that, first Russian touchdown of the season. And he's probably going to have, I think he'll have 2 touchdowns at least in that Patriots game. And I think Brock will definitely have a touchdown there.
Yeah.
And that's for sure. That's just random shit to talk.
Yeah, man, it just makes sense. Their best corner, which is their best defender, is out. Chip Kelly's mine. Pete Carroll's coaching. Geno Smith quarterbacking. Like, it can't look anything worse. You know what I'm saying? It can't be that. So I'm excited to get that win. We'll either be crying next week or drinking.
I'm gonna be drinking either way. It's just I'm either crying out of happiness or out of sadness. So right now I'm out of frustration. Out of frustration, I'm drinking. Okay.
We're gonna be the best offense in the world too. Our season's over. We can't even beat the Patriots.
Seriously, that would suck. That would just fucking suck. They need the first win. They need those wins against the shitty teams, and it's a tough season. So they hopefully they pull it together, man. Get in the huddle and have the same goal in mind. And I mean, as far as I know, the O-line is solid. I mean, we only saw a glimpse here. We only saw a couple series that the first team had, and a glimpse in here and there with AOC. But whatever, man. We're gonna find out now come Sunday.
Exactly. This is it. Like, there's no more hiding behind anything. All the work's been put in. Yeah. We just gotta roll.
Yep. Thank you for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe. Raiders.
Raiders. Get it.